Hey everybody, welcome back. I got a little bit of inspiration for today to do something a little different. Because I've been talking about a few things and I do quite a bit in Destiny, as you can probably tell by the fact that I play a lot. But I'm gonna do something different today, something that I haven't done a video on. And I'm gonna make a build. That's the only reason I'm here. I'm in the shooting range on ultimate difficulty, so, you know, give it a little more oomph. This is currently what I had for Metadoxia, but I'm going to do something different. I'm going to be making a build here around, this Daimyo Suffusion. Daimyo Suffusion. I gotta get that right, otherwise I'm going to beat myself up internally about not pronouncing that correctly. But essentially, the whole thing that we're gonna want to try to do is build things around suspend, even though, like, the rift is kind of part of it, and also, like, the strand. Like, you need a strand super to get the most out of this, obviously. But, you know, you get suspend from your rift as well. But this first half is not what we're going to be focusing on. I'm going to focus on this little second sentence here. Suspend deals damage over time, which heals you in the process. This right here, we're going to build around suspend. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk you through how I normally build. Because I thought that'd be pretty fun. Because I haven't done that yet, surprisingly. I run in here to collections. I grab a couple of these because I intend most of my things to just be focused on the armor and the abilities so that you can swap weapons out depending on what you feel like goes best. But I'm going to put what I think goes best in the slots. And, you know, you use your own judgment whether or not you want to do that. I think I want to go pure... I'll do two. But I think I want to go pure strand. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna work on armor first. So I have a few options to choose from. A lot of you may not, and that's understandable because armor rolls are kind of annoying to farm, if I'm being totally honest. But for the sake of strand, I think we're going to go with this specialist smoke jumper chest piece that I have. Because, like, I want to change out the lustrous stuff here, because it doesn't really do anything for me. It's just the best armor that I had at the time, and you know, it's a whole thing. Sage Protector's not what I want. Do I have any legendary armor that's specialist? I don't have any armor that's specialist, do I? Okay, we'll just leave the lustrous bond then for now. See, this is the fun, because, like, I have not done armor farming, so you're gonna get probably, like, the average experience. As you can tell, I have nothing, like, specialist focused. But I guess the Sage Protector stuff would work, although maybe I could use a sword. We'll see. I'm going to slap this bad boy in here. And now we have one more open slot. If I had one of these for melee, that'd be incredible. Like, melee in class, because, like, I want to go with strong melee, since we're using strand. And you'll see why in a minute. So, I'll probably just... yeah, I'll just nab this one. Actually, you know what? These lustrous sleeves will work for now. No, I want the set bonus. This is gonna be a little important. Having a 4-piece of this would actually go nuts with this baby over here, because this thing is really helping quite a bit. But what we're gonna do is we are going to do that, and we're gonna slam our new helmet in here. And what we want to do is we want to go over what we have and apply some mods accordingly. So I don't have a whole lot of class well, a whole lot of class ability. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to slam a little bit of that in there, and I'm going to throw a super font up here. Now, why a super font? One of these bad boys, if I remember correctly, I'm going to double check just to make absolutely sure, because I have the compendium that I can look at and see, because I need to find the font mods real quick. Yes, okay, one of these mods right here gives you a free 20 to your super stat. So anytime you have an armor charge, which you can get different mods to give you armor charge, which I highly recommend. These mods right here, with the little blue icons, if you have one of these mods on, it makes your armor charges decay over time. Whereas I don't know if there's one in this one, but let me look in the arms, because I know there's one in here. These. Because there's two mods that use armor charges. These with the yellow icon only use the armor charge when you perform the action. See, like, in the case of this one, when you use your grenade, it sucks up your armor charges to restore energy. Which is cool. It's cool. Inversely, you have the blue ones here, which cause it to decay over time, but give you a stat bump in exchange. These, I think, are more worthwhile in the long run for most builds, because you can get a lot of mileage out of these font mods. Especially if you don't have anything else you want to put in place of them, the font mods are pretty good. But in the case of this one, we have an extra 20 to our super. So, you know, that's nice. That's good. We also want to use, we're going to use a harmonic siphon, and I'm going to apply a hands-on. So this one, hands-on, if you do a melee-centric build, pretty good. It gives you super energy for getting melee kills. A little extra super energy for getting melee kills, which is nice. Ashes to assets, the same thing, but for grenades. And Dynamo, actually, you know what? We're going to do that. We're going to put Dynamo on, because we're going to be using our class ability around enemies a little bit more. We'll try that first. Like, in an ideal setup, if you have enough class energy, this will do work for you. Now, we are going to do the same thing here. We're going to throw more into class energy, so as you can see, we're up to 78. But this armor is not masterworked, which, by the way, if you have the materials, I would recommend doing it, especially if you get a tier 5. If you get a tier 5, Garen, absolutely do it. It's worth it. But now in here, we are going to put heavy-handed. So, melee kills will give us Orbs of Power. And I'm going to put a harmonic loader. Not going to go too heavy on that, and we're also going to put a melee font, which will give us... I'm going to double check again, because I want to make sure. Yeah, 20. So, I think all of these font mods are the same. I just want to double check just to make sure. Yes. Okay, so the way the font mods scale, one mod gives you 20 to its respective stat, 2 gives you 40, and 3 gives you 50. So, if you have the ability to slot 3 of those mods, you have a free 50 to whatever stat you would like for those. They're pretty handy. but they do restrict what you can do with your build, which is why it's more so important to slap that onto armor if you can. And I am going to do the same thing here in Masterwork this, because Masterworking armor now gives you free stats. So that's why tier 5 armor is pretty solid if you can get it. It's free stats and everything. And also, if it has the tuning thing, that's even better, but as I saw someone put it, which I believe it was Llama that put it this way, uh, people don't really want to take the time to farm a 1 in 80, which is what one of these armor pieces are, if you get it exactly the way you want, with the exact tuning that you want, which I did not. As you can see, it's a health-focused tuning, which I do not care about in the slightest, so I throw balanced on here. But in this one, you can do whatever you feel comfortable with. Like if you want more armor charge slots, throw that on here. I go with just full safety because I don't really have any of these that I want to put on here. Like, these ammo gen mods are nice if you use, like, double special. Like, you can get away with it there. It's pretty nice. Anytime you can use the harmonic mods, it'll always save you more energy, so you have more room to mess around with. But here, my rule of thumb, I generally go with safety because, like, I'm a little rusty when it comes to high-end content, so yeah, I tend to go for stuff like this. But we're gonna go down here to boots. We're gonna leave this as is, and I'm going to, of course, masterwork these again. I know I'm kind of like flaunting my excess of materials right now, but don't worry about that. I have a weapon font mod on right now, but I'm going to swap that for a strand weapon surge. These weapon surge mods are pretty solid, and honestly, I think you're going to get more bang out of your buck doing that than doing pure weapon in most cases, unless you are fully committing to using nothing but weapons. And there's a reason why I say that. If you're fully committing to using nothing but weapons, you can be a little bit more versatile with this, whereas, like, this is just generally going to benefit the specific weapon damage type. But it gives you, I think these, I may be wrong about this, but I think they give you a little bit more. Let's see. I'm gonna double check here, because I want to make absolutely sure that these surge mods. Okay, no, you actually probably will get a little bit more benefit from these directly, because with these, if you have the 1, you get 10% to 17, and 3 is 22. And if you have an exotic that gives you a times 4, it's a 25%. Whereas with the weapon font, it gives you the 20, 40, and 50 to the weapon stat itself, which is okay, but it's not going to give you as much of a direct damage buff as the element-specific ones. So, like, these more worthwhile for immediate damage, because, like, one of these is 10% for free, plus on top of your weapon stat, instead of just upping your weapon stat, so that's how that works. This is kind of if you're close to 200. Like, if you're 20 away from 200, slap one of these on. 40 away, slap 2 of these on. You can roll with it. These work. But if not, and if you're not focusing purely on the weapons build, go for these. Way less investment. And then I have recuperation, but you can do better already if you want. Recuperation's not as good as it used to be, but because I don't have a whole lot in health, it can stack with it. It's fine. And I have Absolution, which reduces all ability cooldowns each time you pick up an orb of power, which we'll be doing a lot. Ideally, you want to have a lot of orb generation in general. And I'm just gonna leave this on super as well. Ideally, with this helmet, I would like to have 100 class, which is rare for me. I usually wouldn't invest that much into class energy, even on my hunter I don't, because it comes back fast enough. But you know, when you have over 200 in class, I'm gonna just do this just to show you. I'm gonna throw some class item mods on here to get over 200. To get over 100 here, you get an overshield when you use it, which is pretty handy if you're doing a build centered around it. But you know, throw that back on super, and I'm gonna throw this onto melee instead. So there we go. So we got some pretty balanced stats here. Actually really balanced stats. This is kind of much more of a spread than I would normally have, but I think this will do. This is just for, you know, for the sake of showing how I approach build crafting anyway. So I'm going to do this, and then I'll do another one on prismatic, just to show you, like, a little variation here. So obviously, do this how you want. There's universal ornaments now, if you've been away from the game for a while. So if you have any ornaments for any of these exotics, you can slap them on and go from there. I am going to leave it as is because I want to find something smooth. Yeah, we'll go with that. Use that, and I need something nice. And actually, you know what? I had a little change of idea here. Since we're gonna be suspending, let's go a little bit edgy. I haven't done that in a while. Let's be a little bit edgy. Why not? As a treat. I could go further, cause like, yeah, you know what? Let's do it. We're gonna have fun with this. Let's see, what do we have here? What do I have that I want to use for this build? That's very bright. Since we're gonna be using a lot of strand, I want to make it like, one of my things that I like to do with a lot of my drip is I like to make it kind of color coded. Yeah, let's do that. That'll work for now. So there we go. That's our split for now. So now that we've got our armor set up, now it's time to look into the subclass. So we're going to want to maximize... We're gonna actually use Empowering Rift, because while things are suspended, we're going to have our... we're gonna have our healing from that. So what we want to do... We're gonna want to swap that for the Wanderer, and we're gonna want to swap that for Mindspun Invocation. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna find the grenade that has the lowest cooldown, which is grapple. Oh, actually, no, we want shackle grenades. We want shackle grenades to play off of that. So we want to maximize our suspending here. So we're gonna move away from this. So we're gonna lose 10 super. But what we're going to do is we're gonna try and swap that for... Ooh, we could do Thread of Wisdom. Yeah, let's do that. Swap that for that. Let's see if we have anything else for suspending. Because I think there's something that increases the duration of suspend effects. Ah, there it is. Thread of continuity. Let's go ahead. We'll keep unraveling rounds. Actually, we're gonna change Thread of Wisdom. As useful as that is, we're gonna use Thread of Continuity instead. Because I can just make the orbs anyway with the harmonic siphon. So I don't need that. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna preemptively I'm gonna throw mine over this one. I'm going to swap the icon real quick to that. And we're going to swap the name to Strand. And I'm going to go ahead and overwrite this. And we're going to test it out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this sword on here. This slot right here, I'm just going to randomly fill with the... You know what? No, I'll fill it with the Lotus Eater for now. And we'll put the exotic of choice that I'm going to pair with this, Wishkeeper. So let's go ahead and get us some hive here. And so now, with this exotic, I'm gonna do that. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about here. So if you take that... Yeah, there we go. Now we're getting somewhere. Now we're getting somewhere. Because the Woven Mail is only going to last so long. Let's do this. Absorb that. Do this. Yeah, now we're getting somewhere. Okay. I like how this one's shaping up. This is pretty good. So now that we have that in place, let's do a prismatic one real quick. And then I'll go run this one through its paces. So we'll swap over here to prismatic. gonna immediately go ahead and do that. And we're gonna swap some things around because don't need both of these. As much as I love Bleak Watcher, we're gonna be doing enough strand damage, so I'm gonna put Devour on. And we're gonna take this to another level here by doing this. We're gonna throw Devour on. I'm going to leave. I'm actually gonna throw Vortex Grenade on. Because we're gonna do some crazy stuff here. Let's see. I don't feel the need to change these too much, because there's not really a whole big reason to. As we lose out just a little bit on some of these, but at the same time, we can make these work. So we're gonna leave empowering on as well, and we're gonna go ahead and with this prismatic one, we're gonna leave it as is, and we're just gonna make a loadout with this, and then we're gonna throw these on again. Let's see what it does with prismatic. So with prismatic, I think we genuinely are going to have a lot more survivability and uptime thanks to Devour. But the big draw between these two is going to be, will it do single target? Because it can do ad clear, like this can do ad control really quickly, but is it going to work with single target? Let's switch back to this. And we're going to go ahead and bring in a boss enemy. I'm going to do this. See, like, that little secondary burst of suspend is what we're looking for here. And that's why the sword is really good. Yeah, you see in why this sword is really good for this. You see in the vision here. You can get quite a bit out of that. So let's go ahead and swap to the prismatic one. We'll do it again. And I'll put the prismatic one through its paces. If it does a lot more like I'm assuming it will. Because with the prismatic one, yeah, this is about what I was expecting with the prismatic one. Yeah. This is kind of crazy. This is kind of crazy. Yeah, let's go put this through its paces. I don't really have enough to deal with, like, every champion that may be in here, but we'll do a K1. I'm not gonna change any of the things on it, but it's probably gonna be an ultimate. So I'm gonna be, like, 30 under. We'll give this a quick little test run, see how it goes. And, yeah. I think that'll be a pretty solid video from there. This will probably be one of the longest videos that I've recorded in a hot minute, but I think it's nice. It's nice to be able to do something like this and just kind of like give you all an unfiltered look into how I approach things. Because, like, I want to do this more on stream, but I wanted to give you all a little taste of, like, what I do. How I approach this stuff. Because, like, am I the best at doing this? No.
With any luck, we'll be long gone before major reinforcements arrive.
Ah, I just missed it. But you know what I can do? Oh, I just ricocheted it back at myself. Whoops. This is me with no plan. I have no plan. I am just going in here full send, raw, no plan. Okay, let's try this again. Let's try this again. I'll probably cut that. That'll be really funny. Nah, I'm not gonna cut that. I'm joking. I'm giving you all the full experience and watching me, like, as you can clearly tell, not used to playing Warlock, and also, like, getting used to something I have not used before. I've used the bow before. I just gotta remember, oh yeah, that's right, I have unstopped bow. So I have to really pace myself and be careful. There we go. I'm gonna make the most out of this right here. Because we have both Devour and a secondary source of healing. I'm gonna make as much use out of it as I can. Ah, that's what I was afraid of. The pikes are The pikes are scary. Pikes and the snipers. There we go. Now we're getting somewhere. I realized that I didn't deactivate this one. There we go. Make sure I deal with that guy, and then we should be pretty clear. The last room is the one that I'm a little concerned about. Go ahead and clear that. We're doing pretty good. We're doing pretty good right now. Got 3 revives and 6 minutes to clear the rest of this lost sector. Not too shabby. The only thing that I know is I have to maintain my radiant to have anti-barrier. Which, that's the thing about some of these, is trying to make as much of an evergreen build as you can. I love the goofiness of this bow. Beautiful. Alright, we've got less than 5 minutes before I run out of revives. Let's see if I can do it, because I normally don't, like, mess around. That's gonna whiff. Okay, so we've got him taken care of now. There we go. Go ahead and do that. Gotta go find another orb. Yeah, no, this build kind of rocks, actually.
Good job, Guardian. You should be ready for
It's
more
workable.
solo missions.
It works.
After everything we learned on Kepler, I think Ikora will be busy for a
How
long
about that?
time dealing with the Nine.
Oh, and that's the other thing you do. After making the builds, you can get rid of these and free up some space.
Always have. Fight for our city.
That's pretty solid. All things considered. Pretty nice. I get on these somethings. Ooh, that's a kinetic tremors one. That's nice, but it's not about the. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Okay, never mind. I just got a something I really like. Okay. Yeah. But that's where I'm gonna cut it here because it's almost been an hour-long recording, and yeah, that's my take on build crafting. I'm more of a casual player, so you can do what you will with that information and how all this stuff works, but if you've watched this far, thank you. Let me know what you think down below. I could do some faster ones. I'm gonna do this more often on stream than in recordings, but I just wanted to give you a little peek behind the scenes and see what y'all think. But yeah, I had a lot of fun making this, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.